The images we see on our TV screens are very different than the images being seen in China itself. They're getting a very different idea of the torch's reception. And for more on that, we're joined by Eunice Yoon in Beijing. And Eunice, how are the Paris protests in particular, how are they reported in China?
Well, they're being reported this morning, for example, in this state-run paper, where the headline actually reads that France is not doing enough to protect the Olympic flame. There's a picture here showcasing angry Chinese people, and behind them is a Chinese flag, and they are yelling at protesters who they believe are sabotaging the Olympic torch relay. And really that has been the focus of the coverage here in China, both in the newspapers as well as on TV. The focus has been on the protesters and on the disruption of the torch relay and how that is really undermining what they believe should be a momentous occasion for China. There really isn't a whole lot of coverage on why these protesters are acting out so aggressively. There's no mention of China's human rights record, which has been, of course, really the focus in the Western media, Christy.
And Eunice, have you had a chance to talk to people in China? Because we were discussing this here in the newsroom just now. We just want to find out how people are reacting to the torch being turned into a lightning rod for controversy and protest. Is it prompting self-reflection, people asking themselves, why are people out there so angry, or anger among the Chinese?
Well, for the most part, there's quite a bit of anger among the Chinese. So we've been checking all the blogs, and really most of the people have been quite patriotic, which I guess doesn't really come as too much of a surprise given the fact that the television coverage as well as the coverage in the paper really has been slanted towards the government policy. There are a lot of people who are questioning why the protesters would choose to do this, but mainly just showing anger as to why they'd be making these decisions, but not really questioning, again, just why these activists are acting out and really scrutinizing the human rights record in China, Christy.
And Eunice, any official reaction from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in China or BOCOG, the Beijing Olympic Committee?
Well, we have been we have had some comment from BOCOG, the Beijing Olympic Committee, really coming out quite stridently, quite critically about some of these protests. This is what the Beijing Olympic organizer had to say yesterday.
We strongly condemn the disgusting behavior of a handful of Tibetan separatists who attempted to sabotage the Olympic torch relay. The Olympic flame belongs to the people of the whole world, and it is not in favor of the public for a few people who are trying to challenge the Olympic spirit. Those acts will surely arouse the resentment of the peace-loving people and are bound to fail.
And Christy, these comments came on the same day that the IOC, or the International Olympic Committee head, Jacques Rogge, had said he has become very concerned about the situation in Tibet and about the protests. And it really goes to show how the protests overseas have been sparking a very rare political debate in the Olympic movement.